Yay!
Yay! Een beetje warm hier.
Ja.
Zie je?
Je bent al live.
Oh, echt waar?
Ja.
Oh, hallo! Ik doe mijn telefoon hier voor de tijd, dat ik niet te ver over ga. Oké.
It's a flow, hè?
It's a flow, and I'm
Where are you focusing on today?
doing back bends.
Ooh.
Which is quite nice. I'm live already.
Ja.
Yeah, okay. It's quite nice if you just did Mandy's class. It's a nice warm up for back bends. So if you're doing a double whammy today, you can go a little bit further maybe. How does this work?
Ja.
Hello?
And then I connect you.
Okay. I'm already wrong. It's a bit weird. The choreography of technology. Can they hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you what you sort of need for today. As always, sometimes it's nice to have like a yoga brick or a book or your Harry Potter series, and then you could just sit up a little bit higher. Might be nice for especially the first seated position. And then if you can take a long sock or a yoga strap or a tie or anything just to be able to start binding a little bit. I should just say for anyone that's knee tweaky, I got some adaptations. We're doing back bending, and we're going to do some lunging and some pigeon pose variations, which might, if you have any knee injuries, might not feel so nice. So I'll give you a different thing to do. With these kind of back bends, just give your back time. Think about lengthening, creating as much space as you can, and any tight places of the spine, just give it time to slowly release just by breathing into it. Okay, have fun. Let's come to a cross-legged position. If you want, you can shove your yoga brick or your book underneath your sitting bones, and just come to a cross-legged position. Rest your arms onto your legs, close your eyes. Take a moment to bring your focus inwards, just to feel the floor underneath you. Bringing in this sense of grounding, really feeling the floor and sinking down into the ground. And start to turn on your Ujjayi breath, which might not be the nicest sound with the microphone, but it sounds a little bit breezy, or like the waves of the sea, that kind of sound. Keep a sense of ease though in the breath. So in a similar way as our back bends, we want to feel the sense of space within the breath, but it's not pushy, it's not straining. So keep that feeling of ease, of flow. And a nice way of finding that is to really work to the entire spectrum of the breath. So especially in the end bits of your inhale and your exhale, see if you can soften those end bits down a bit more. And lengthen them. And open your eyes. Start with your right leg crossed in front. You might already have that. If not, change it. You can also bring it into a half lotus. Again, any knee tweaky people, just keep the leg down to the floor. Don't do a half lotus. Then we're going to twist towards the right side. Left hand's going to go to the right thigh. Right hand's going to go behind as support there. You're just going to twist. Or you can bring the right arm all the way around the back and then bind with your foot if it's there. Give a little high five. You can also grab your thigh if you're in a cross-legged position, or just reach as far as you can. I'm just going to take a couple of deep breaths. And just feeling that spiral that starts from the very bottom of the spine all the way up. And just notice where in the spine is there a bit more mobility? Where is it more rigid? Where is there tension? And then we slowly release. We're going to change to the other side. So now is the left leg in front or left foot on top into half lotus. Twisting towards the left, right hand to the left thigh. Left arm goes around the back, and you can maybe grab your foot or your thigh or grab the band of your trousers, or you just place the hand down if that feels better. Just take your time here. Nice deep Ujjayi breath. Feel that space all the way around your spine. All the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then we slowly release, come back to the front. Okay, we'll start with a downward facing dog here. Remove any obstacles off your mat. And then just take a moment to stretch out. You might want to have a little walk through your feet, just to warm up the feet a little bit. Create this sense of space between your toes, as if you're walking in grapes or something, making your own wine, or whatever, like some tomatoes underneath your feet that you can squash a bit, sort of that you get these really kind of squishy kind of feet. And then move your hips as far back away from your hands as you can. Spread your hands, spread your fingers, relax your neck. And just find that flow of the breath. Now on your inhale, you're going to lift the heels. You're going to roll forward, as far forward as you can. And you're going to pull the chest through the arms into upward dog, but with the toes tucked under. You're going to lift from the core. Exhale, move the hips all the way back into a downward facing dog, folding into the hips. Inhale, lifting heels, roll forward into your upward dog, dragging the chest through the arms. Exhale, lift from your waist, from your center, moving back downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, roll forward, upward dog. Elbows can be a little bit bent there. And exhale back, downward facing dog. We're going to move into plank. Bring your shoulders over your wrist. Keep dragging your heart forward and reach your heels back. Now we're going to work a little bit more into the side body here. So we're going to drop the heels to the right side. You can allow your right hip to drop down towards the floor. Hover it just above, so it's not touching the ground, the hips. Inhale, lift back up to plank. Exhale, let your heels go to the left, and the left hip drops down. You're hovering. Inhale, find plank. Exhale, heels to the right. Hips hover above the ground. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, let your heels move to the left. And let the left hip just hover above the ground. Inhale, back to plank. Going to move the hips back, downward facing dog. Just take a moment there to stretch out your lower back. Can be nice to bend the knees a little bit just so you can move the sitting bones upwards a bit more. And it gives a little bit more space into the lower back to lengthen. We're going to lift the right leg up and back into a three-legged dog. You're going to reach it as far back as you can and really feel for that line of energy from your hands through your core, all the way down to that right leg, right thigh, out to the right foot. On your exhale, bring your right knee towards your left armpit. So you're going to twist it underneath, and you're going to hold it there. Come forward a little bit more with your shoulders. Now you're going to send your right leg out underneath the left arm, and here's your star pose. Legs lengthen. Lift the chest up, lift your left arm up. And then just feel this opening of the front body. Keep pressing down with your right hand. Now imagine a little drop of water falling down onto your belly, and you move back from your belly. Left hand down, send your right leg all the way back and up. Inhale, exhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Bring your left knee down to the floor. We got our lunge here. If you need any padding, just fold the mat for that left knee. Hands onto the back of the hips. Inhale, you're going to telescope the ribs away from the hips. And then use your deep Ujjayi breath to create as much space through your core and through your belly here. If you just done Mandy's class, you probably feel like your center is really strong here. So you can use that strength to create a bit more length there in your spine. At the same time, really feel you can press your right foot, your right heel down to the floor. So really using the leg muscles as well, our strong legs, to support our spine. Bring your hands down. We're going to step back into a downward facing dog. Left leg is going to reach all the way up into a three-legged dog. Again, press down through your hands. Move your weight as far back as you can. Exhale, left knee towards right armpit. You're going to hold it there. Pull belly in. Move shoulders forward. Slide your left leg out underneath your right arm. You're going to lift your right arm all the way up. Your star pose. Chest lifts up. Hi. I think Anthony calls this fallen bicycle pose. Maybe seen on like a windy day, bicycles being on the side like this. Again, we're gonna move from the belly. Belly moves down. And then from there, we crumble back down, right hand down to the floor. And then from there, send the left leg all the way back and up. You might need to adjust that back leg. A nice steady breath. Not too pushed, not too strained. Keep that control of your breathing. Left knee in towards the chest. You're going to step the left foot in between the hands. Right knee down. Again, you might need to fold the mat in half. Get some padding. Hands on the back of the hips. You're going to drive the left heel down. Inhale, lift the ribs up. And this is really just to find space through your lower back. And a big part is using your breath. So not just focusing on just inhaling and exhale, but actually we can move the breath around the body. So see if you can move a little bit more into the lower back here. I'm going to bring the hands down. Step your right foot forward. Next to your left, maybe keep a little bit of space between your feet. And then keep your knees a little bit bent so you can send your sitting bones back. Now bring your hands into your shins. You're going to move your chest forward, and we're going to find a flat back here. Now your flat back might be a little bit more up, so it might be more in diagonal, but you want to keep that length from tailbone to crown of the head, so there's no rounding there. Might be that the hands stay there on your legs for support. You can also send them out in front of you if you want to make it a bit harder. You want to make it a little bit more harder, you can lift your heels up. Keep moving your chest forward, a bit stronger work into your hamstrings there. Keep reaching the little finger forward, send your heart forward. I'm going to bring the heels down. Bend the knees a bit more to tip the hips down. Now press down through your feet to lift all the way up to standing, arms down by your side. Come to the front of your mat and we'll start some suns to build up a little bit more heat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and feel your heart lifting up towards your thumbs. Find that steadiness back in your breath. On your inhale, you're going to send the arms all the way up above your head. Maybe there's a little bit of an arch there in the upper spine. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump back into plank. Optional knees down, lower chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Inhale, coming to cobra or upward dog if your back is ready for that. Drag ribs forward. Exhale, moving back from core. Downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, send your arms up, reach up, maybe with a little bit of an arch there. Exhale, hands back down in front of your heart. One more time. Inhale, lift the arms up, reach up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or float the feet back through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Breathing in, moving weight further back. Breathing out. Deep inhale. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, send the arms up, reach up, maybe an arch. Exhale, hands down in front of heart. Inhale, lift the arms up, go up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or float the feet back through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more deep inhale. And one more deep exhale. Breathing in. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, step or float the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepen forward fold. Inhale, send the arms up, reach up and back. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Bend your knees for Utkatasana. It's hard to speak and go through sun salutations. So you're going to move your hips a little bit further back. You're going to push your shins forward. So there's two opposite actions there. Hips move back, thighs move back, shins move forward. Send the arms all the way up. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up, scooping chest forward. Exhale, step or jump the feet back through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Right foot might go a little bit out to the side. Find a place so the left heel can come down. Hands on the back of the hips. Inhale, lifting ribcage up. Exhale, drive the right heel down to the floor. So you really sink down into your legs. Now we're going to bring the right forearm onto the lower back. You're going to make a fist with your right hand. Slightly roll that forearm down. So you're trying to encourage the tailbone to drop, sitting bones to reach down. Left arm all the way up. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, reach up and back. If you want, bend your left elbow. Bring your left hand behind your head, cradling the head, and then hug the left elbow in. Feel the back of your left arm lifting up. And then on the exhale, ground down through your legs. Release the arms. And we're going to interlink the fingers. I have to be careful with the wire that's going behind my back. And interlink your fingers. You're going to move your chest forward. Lift up. And then come forward into your warrior three. Might feel a bit of shaking of the leg there. And a nice and steady breath. It's okay if there's wobbles, moments of instability. It's all part of the practice. So keep coming back. Fall over. Have a little laugh at yourself. And then just come back. We're going to reach the left leg all the way back and come to a lunge here. Sink down with your hips. We're going to reach the arms all the way back up. Interlink the fingers. Lunge with brain cradle. So you're going to bring the hands behind the head, just where the spine meets the skull. You're going to wrap your elbows. Feel the back of your arms lifting up. Let your hips drop down and move forward. Then with your hands, you can actually traction the neck. So you can move the head away from the base of the neck. And when you inhale, lift the head back up. Exhale, hands down to the floor, find plank. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Other side. Left foot forward, right heel down. Warrior one. Let your right hip come forward. If you need a bit more space, just heel to the left foot out to the side. Hands onto the hips, traction the lower back. Feel the ribs lifting up. Press down with the back heel. Right, now from here you bring your left forearm onto your lower back. You can make a fist with your left hand. And you're going to roll down, encouraging your sitting bones to reach down. Inhale, lift right arm all the way up. Exhale, if you want, bend your right elbow, right hand behind your head. And here you can cradle the head, move the head back. You're feeling the elbow lifting up so you get all that space between your left forearm and your right elbow. And with your right hand, you can lift the head back up. Interlink the fingers behind your back. And you're going to move forward. Move your weight into your left leg. Lifting the right leg up, warrior three. Drag your heart forward. Keep sending your forearms back. You can bend your left knee a little bit, just to work on those proprioception muscles. Embrace those moments of wobbling, getting stronger in your legs. You're going to reach your right leg all the way back, nice and safe into a lunge. You're going to let your hips drop. Send the arms all the way up. Interlink the fingers, lunge with brain cradle. So your hands are sort of like a hammock for your head to rest into. You're going to squeeze the elbows. That way we're engaging the back muscles a little bit more, supporting our shoulders. Let the head drop back into your hands. Let your hips move forward. Nice deep breaths. Keep feeling at the end bits of your inhale and exhale. You can lengthen those parts. Bring the head back up. Hands down. Step back into plank. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly lower down. I'm going to lay down onto the belly. I hope you are sweating as well at home. You're not just watching me from your sofa. Interlink your fingers. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs. There's so many kind of live classes. I know I sometimes move around and just check what people are doing. Right, so keep feeling your rib cage moving forward. Keep sending your forearms back. Lift your thighs up. Feeling the back of the body working. One more inhale to lift. Exhale, lower back down. Hands down to the floor, moving hips back. Downward facing dog. Send your right leg back and up. Inhale. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. I got a nice leg cooker here. Arrow lunge. You can bring your left leg down to the floor. Bring your fingertips down. Now give yourself enough space so the right heel needs to be down to the floor. If not, move it further forward. You're going to lift the back knee, your left knee up off the ground. You're going to feel your left thigh lifting. Drag your ribs forward. Roll your shoulders back. Nice steady breaths. Just tapping into your upper thighs, energy of your upper thighs. If you want to make it a bit harder, hands go into the right thigh. Or if you want, arms all the way up. Press down to your right foot. One more deep inhale. Exhale, hands down. Bring your back knee down. Now here we're going to go into a lunge with the back knee bent. Might be for this that you need either a blanket or a towel, or you fold the mat in half. If you got any dodginess going on with your knee, just keep the foot down. And you can take it with your fingers interlinked and then lifting the chest up like that. If your knee is okay, you're going to reach back with your left hand, grab your left foot, and the right hand can be onto the thigh. You'll lift the chest up. Maybe right hand wants to go back as well. You're just going to pull the heel in. Last option, you're going to turn your left hand with the fingers pointing up, the same direction as your left foot. You're going to lift the chest away from the hips. Slowly release. Bring your hands down. While I'm checking my schedule, I'm checking my class plan. Right foot comes across. We're going to take a pigeon pose. Now, if this does not feel nice for your hip or for your knee, come and lay down to your back. You're taking eye to the needle, which I can't really do because I got a box underneath my lower back there. But so your right ankle is over your left thigh. Anyone else, come to pigeon. We're going to tuck the back toes under so you can lift the left thigh up. And just take your time to come forward. Forearms down, or if you got your books, your bricks, you can place your forearms onto the bricks. Or you can even place the forehead down onto the ground. Or if you want, support it by placing a brick underneath it. Just take your time here. It's quite nice to explore with the breath into the back of your lower back of the hips. And slowly lift back up, remove any obstacles, and then from there, let's step back into plank. Take a deep inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog, and exhale back, downward facing dog. We got the other side to do. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Right knee down to the floor. And then release your back toes. We're going to come to arrow lunge. Fingertips down. Lift your back knee up off the ground. You feel your right thigh lifting up. Now, it's in a way a bit like a half upward dog. It's just with one leg. So if you have your full upward dog, you still drag your chest forward. Same thing here in arrow lunge. You're going to move your chest forward. Option 2, hands into your left thigh. And option 3, a bit harder, arms all the way up. So you should really feel your thighs working hard here. Stay with your breath. Heating up those leg muscles. Gonna bring the hands down, bring the back knee down. Again, you can fold the mat, place a blanket underneath if you want. Gonna come to lunge with the back knee bent. Right hand grabs the right foot. You're going to move the right heel in. If that's not possible, interlink your fingers to let the hips move forward there. Maybe 2 hands. Lifting chest up. You feel your right hip bone lifting up and away from your right thigh. Last option, you're going to turn your right hand to face upwards with the fingers. And then slowly release. We're coming to our pigeon pose. Left foot comes across, left shin down. Slide your right leg back. And then from there, you keep your back toes tucked under. And if it's comfortable, you can come and lay down onto the ground there. So keep feeling your right thigh pushing up. Again, if this does not feel nice for your joints, come and lay on the back. You bring your left ankle over your right thigh, you just lay on your back, which I can't do right now. But that could be another option. Keep reaching the right heel back. Slowly come back up. And then let's step straight away back into your downward facing dog here. You're going to lift. If you bring your feet a little bit closer together in your downward facing dog, you're going to lift your right leg all the way up. Open the right hip, bend your right knee. Now feel a connection between your left hand and your right foot. You're going to reach the right leg over. You might need to bend your left knee in order to place the right foot down on the ground behind you. Wild thing posture. Sink down with your hips and your knees. You're going to press down from your feet to lift up into wild thing. Right arm reaches up. It might be that there is a Dhanurasana in there, a wheel pose, where you can just hover. You're going to reach back with the right hand. If you're in Dhanurasana, you have to pivot your hand to come back into that three-legged dog. And then step your right foot forward. Warrior 2, right foot forward. Left heel down. Going to take an archer warrior here. Right arm up. Bend your right elbow. Option 1, left hand on the right elbow. Wrap the shoulder. Option 2, left arm goes around. You can use your sock to bind if you want, or just let your fingers meet. Now move your breath into that space between your shoulder blades. And then feel the shoulder blades sliding away from each other. Feel the back of the arms moving away from each other. Release the arms out to the side. Reverse the warrior. Inhale, send your left arm back. Create space into your side body. Exhale, left hand onto hip, thigh or lower leg. And then inhale, right arm all the way up and over. You can relax the neck there. So it's really a side bend. Keep sending the right thigh forward. Lift your right hip bone up and away from your right thigh. Head to ankle prep. Right hand is going to come down. Left hand is going to come down. Keep your warrior 2 legs. Keep your right thigh moving forward. Right knee pointing forward. Right hand onto your right thigh. Going to move the thigh away from the hip. Inhale, spread ribs. Exhale, look back to your left foot. Now from here, keep feeling into your legs. You feel the legs cooking that little bit more. Keep feeling that space there into your side body. Breathe in a way to make you feel deeper inside of your own body. You're going to bring the right hand down, walk forward, and bring your left knee down. And we're going to come to a tangled pigeon, which is a variation of pigeon. I should just say, again, if you have any knee injuries, I'm going to give you something different. So if knees are okay, come to pigeon. If you want an alternative, you're going to come to a bridge. You're going to bring your right ankle onto your left thigh. It's quite strong work for your legs. If you need to, place a brick underneath. You can take a break if you need to. Bring the hips down, take a couple of breaths, and then go up again. So for tangled pigeon, you're going to move that front foot, the right foot, a bit further in towards your left hip. And I'm going to place either the yoga strap or your big sock around your foot. The right arm is going to wrap around and grab the sock or grab the strap. It might be that you can even reach for the foot. Right, and maybe that's how far you want to go. The left hand's there for support. Now you're going to roll your left ear to your left shoulder. So you're creating a stretch to the right side of the neck. Use your breath to get more into feeling there. Where can you open? Where can you release? If you want to go a little bit further, I got some more options for you. You can reach the left hand to the left foot. Grab the left foot and you're going to pull the left foot in. And then you can lift the chest up. Or, again, left ear to left shoulder. You can stay there in your tangled pigeon. You can also reach your left arm all the way up. Bend your left elbow, your left hand into the head. You're going to let the head move back into your hands, into a half brain cradle. Keep wrapping the left shoulder. And then lift the head up. Release your tangled pigeon. Release your sock, your strap. We're going to step straight away back into our downward facing dog here. Bring your feet a bit closer together. The left leg is going to go up, ready for your wild thing posture. You're going to open your left hip. Left foot is going to reach over. You might bend your right knee to find the floor. Pivot your feet so they're pointing to the back of your mat. Your hips are sinking down. Then you're going to use your feet to press down, lift the hips up, open the chest. It might be a nice reach there. Maybe the left hand can come down and you can come to your wheel pose. If you're doing that, you have to pivot your right hand. Left arm reaches back. Three-legged dog. And then the left foot is going to step forward. Warrior 2 with archer. Left arm all the way up. Bend your left elbow. And just really around, getting some more mobility around the shoulders. Feel your left outer armpit wrapping around. If you want, you can also bind with your t-shirt. If you've got a long ponytail, you can use your sock. Get the breath nice and steady. And from there, you're going to release the arms. And then reverse the warrior. Send your right arm back. Exhale, right hand down. Send the left arm all the way up. Hand can be onto the hip, the thigh, or the lower leg. If it's really uncomfortable for your neck, you can also bring that left arm forward and just reach the head away from the shoulder. I'm going to bring the hands down. Head to ankle prep. Keep your warrior 2 legs. We're going to cook the legs a little bit more. You'll feel the benefits of that into our final back bend. So the left hand's going to go into the left thigh. You're going to move the left thigh forward. Inhale, spread ribs. Exhale, look back. Now keep that deep breath going. And use it to get curious. Where are the places where maybe you get stuck a bit in the body? Where is there tension? Where do you feel a sense of opening? Bring the hands down. Walk to the front. You're going to go to your tangled pigeon. And bring the left foot in. Place your left shin down to the ground. The other version is you take a bridge and you bring your left ankle onto your right thigh. You can place a brick underneath the back of your sacrum there. Right, so for your tangled pigeon, you're going to bind your strap or your sock around your left ankle, and the left arm goes around the back. Left arm goes around the back and finds the strap. Then your right hand can be there just as support to lift the chest up. And then the right ear might want to drop to the right shoulder so you get a lovely stretch through the left side of your neck. You can roll the left shoulder back. And maybe it's nice just to stay there and just explore that part of the pose. Next step, if you want, you can bend your back leg, your right foot. You're going to pull it in. Maybe the fingers move in the same direction as the toes. You can lift the chest up. Or right ear down to right shoulder. If you want, release that right leg, especially if you feel it's a bit much for the knee. You're going to lift the right arm up. Brain cradle or half brain cradle. Hand behind the head. And you're going to lift the back of your arm up. And let the head tip back. And then slowly release. Take your time, especially when we're going into those deeper kind of back bends. Sometimes I just need a bit of time to settle. If you feel any dizziness or if you feel anything that comes up that shooks you a bit or that shocks you a bit, just take a moment there just to breathe. Let your breath reassure you to be here. We're going to move into our left hip and we're going to come and lay down here. So the right leg's going to come across. I'm going to move my speaker box a bit out to the side. We're going to come and lay down onto the back. And we'll start with a bridge here. So feet around hip width apart, more or less. Gonna press down through your feet, lifting the hips all the way up. Relax your neck. Let the head just tip down. Shoulders sink. You feel your chest moving towards your chin. And on your exhale, feel your sitting bones reaching to the front of the mat. Feel the inner thighs rolling down, the outer thighs rolling up. And then exhale, you slowly roll back down. Take a moment just to lay onto the ground and then just feel your weight settling. Notice the things that come up. Just allow them to be there. Don't get attached to it. Just notice whatever you're feeling. Emotions, thoughts that come up. We're going to go for 2 more rounds of back bending here. Then you can come back to just your bridge, as we just did. So, bridge, or if you want, you can take it into a wheel here. Hands next to the ears. Press down through your feet. For some people, it needs to be a bit wider with the feet. So if you feel you don't have the force to lift all the way up, try and bring the feet a bit wider. Lift all the way up into your wheel. Now press down through your feet to move your chest through your arms. Nice deep breath. Feel for that length through your neck. It might be that you want to bring one leg all the way up. Take 2 breaths. Before you change over, it's optional. You can also keep the feet down. I mean, everything is sort of optional here. You just feel where you want to take it. And actually, that's the most advanced thing, to listen to your own body. It might sound a bit cheesy, but it really is like that. Body's different every day. Make sure if you're lifting one leg up that you've done both. So you're not uneven. And you're going to slowly come back down. Again, just take a moment to settle. Sometimes it's nice just to close your eyes. Bring one hand on the belly, one hand onto the chest. Again, just feeling the breath. Just let it reassure you to just be here. And for whatever comes up, to be allowed to be there too. Just take a moment to feel it, observe it. We're going to do our final round here. If you need to, you can just stay here and just keep following your breath. You can take another bridge. You can take another wheel. I'm going to give you a third option for those that can do wheel and want to go a little bit further. We're going to bring our forearms down to the floor and take it into Viparita Dandasana. Now again, this is optional, so I'm just giving it there out for if you feel, I'm quite bendy today. We can take it there. But you can take bridge, you can take wheel, you can take a supported bridge, or you can lay down to the floor and just follow that breath. So, for Viparita Dandasana, you're going to come up into your wheel. Then from there, you're going to bring your head down to the ground. You got to bring your forearms down, interlink your fingers, press forearms down, and then you lift your head up off the ground. Press down through your feet, and move your chest through your arms. Squeeze the wrist down. Feel the heart moving forward. You're pressing down through your heels. And that's in all your back bends. Really feel that connection back to the ground. You need that kind of groundiness in these kind of back bends. And bring the head down. Bring your hands down. Come and lay down. Now I know that sometimes it feels nice to hug your knees into your belly, so you're welcome to take that. For me, I usually just prefer after a back bend just to take a moment to lay down. With the knees bent, feet are down to the ground. So taking a moment just to earth yourself, to ground yourself, and just to follow that breath. We're going to bring the feet together and come to a Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Just allow the hips to open. Hands can go onto the belly. And I just want you to feel that you can send the breath into the belly. It's quite a nice way of settling off the back bends, just to feel back into your belly and into your hips. If you want, belly and chest. So One hand on the belly, one hand onto the chest. And maybe you can feel the breath moving like a wave. From belly all the way up into the heart. All the way back down. Chest, ribs, belly. Just noticing that breath as a wave. And from here, with your hands, bring your legs together. Gonna cross the right thigh over the left. Move the hips a little bit out to the side. Legs go to the left. Spinal twist. If that crossing of the legs does not feel nice for your back, just bring your legs on top of each other. Just take a moment to release your spine or any tension around the back, lower back. Sometimes it can feel quite nice to place, I would do the left hand actually here, just into the fold of the right hip. And you're just going to move the right hip down. Get a bit of an extra traction, bit of length through your lower back. If it doesn't work for you, then of course just keep your left hand onto your thigh. Release your legs. Go to the other side. Hips get square, left leg on top of right. And legs twist towards the right side. Right hand to your left thigh, left arm down by your side. Just noticing that those subtle shifts of energy after all that back bending and moving of the spine. If you want, right hand into the fold of your left hip, and you're going to move the left hip slightly down. So you get a bit more, I don't know if you can see it, you can lengthen that way the lower back a bit more. And slowly release. See if you can roll back onto your back, just place your hips back in line. Just hug your knees a little bit in, and then lengthen your legs. Could be with the knees bent, so that it doesn't feel like you're shaking the legs too much. Hands can be onto the back of the thighs, and you just gently use that to lift the hips out of the ground. It's just a way of unwinding the lower back. Might be you want to grab the back of the ankles. It's sort of a restorative kind of forward fold. Instead of your upper body folding to your legs will fold to the upper body. And keep going to the entire spectrum of the breath, so we're not skipping bits. That's where the control is. Nice steady breath. Release the legs. I'm going to take a Shavasana. Lengthen your legs out, just get nice and comfortable. If you feel that after all that back bending, that the lower back feels a bit tweaky, you can bend your knees. Just place some pillows underneath your knees or some books, some bricks. So your knees are slightly bent that way. You can still really relax your legs. Feel your weight sinking down into the ground. Now just allow your awareness to travel around the body. And feel, is there anywhere where you could let go of a little bit more? Anywhere where you can sink that little bit further into the ground. And feeling that the body can make an imprint into the ground. You can stay laying down there for a bit longer. Let the breath move with ease, so you don't have to push it. We don't have to keep the Ujjayi breath in Shavasana. But there's still a kind of awareness of the breath. So even though we're not necessarily controlling it, there's still that feeling of really noticing each bit of it. So if you want, you can stay here for a little bit longer and just give yourself more time. It can sometimes be with back bends that you just really just need to give yourself a bit more time just to settle. So don't worry if, I don't know, if you feel a bit weird after back bending, it can happen. So just give yourself time, take a moment to just focus on the breath and give yourself a longer Shavasana. Okay, thank you very much. Namaste. Freddie says thank you too. Can't hear. Great. Well, have a lovely Sunday, and I think I'm doing again tomorrow morning. I'm doing something different than back bends. I'm planning to do side body a little bit more, so you get the whole shabam. Great. Thank you.